Find yourself in restorative fish pose, the blocks between the shoulder blades, and you're in Sukhasana legs. Note which shin is in front in Sukhasana legs. We're here for about 10 to 15 breath patterns. Full inhalation, full exhalation. Might be a little bit uncomfortable. Note that from the beginning in your upper chest to start in restorative fish. Breathe up into the edges of the discomfort, around the shoulder blades, the trapezius, the base of the neck. Breathe up into the edges of that discomfort. Belly soft, sacrum heavy, chest fluctuating with the inhalation and the exhalation. Gently take the feet to Baddha Konasana, soles of feet together. Keep breath patterns strong and fluid. Let the knees drop out to the side. There's a slight pull down the many cords of the adductor, the inner thigh. Let the legs drape. Keep the breath pattern strong. Supta Baddha Konasana with restorative fish in the upper chest. Paying attention to the inner thighs. Paying deep attention to the inhalation. Each inhalation expands a little more space to breathe into the intercostal muscles, to touch the base of the neck. On your exhale, come back into Sukhasana legs. Put the opposite shin in front from which you started. The knees will drape, but there's a little more pressure on the shins. Keep the tongue relaxed away from the roof of the mouth. Belly fluctuating, side ribs fluctuating. Back of the skull getting heavier now that we've been here for about 30 exhalations. Breathing into the accordion of the rib cage. Mindfully relaxing the facial muscles. Bring the knees together and then straighten both legs. Legs are straight and long. Grab opposite elbows overhead. Keep the block exactly where it is. Dorsiflex the feet, reach through the inner heel, 5 to 7 powerful upward moving inhalations into the armpit tissue. Keep the legs on line so there's a little bit of work in the inner thighs here as you reach through the inner heels. Right, so right from the beginning of practice, we start activating the muscular body through the wisdom of the pranayama practice. Still grabbing opposite elbows. On your exhalation, take the arms to cactus arms. Keep the elbows off the earth. Probably 3 rounds of breath here feels good. Elbows off earth. Cactus arms. Reach through inner heel. Inhalation straightens the arm. Exhalation brings the elbow to 90 degrees in cactus arms. Powerful inhalation straightens the arm. Exhalation brings the arm to 90 degrees, cactus arm. Couple rounds like this. Keep the head and neck soft, priming the chest for optimal pranayama. Bend the knees, soles of feet on the ground. You can roll off the block, slide the block out from the upper back, roll back onto the earth. Hug the knees into the chest. Right at the beginning of practice, feel the curves of the spine. There's some muscular effort in the lower abdomen here because we're rolling the curves of the spine out onto the earth. Breathe into the lower belly and roll the curves of the spine out onto the earth. Hug knees into chest, deeper on the exhalation. Happy baby pose. Grab outer edges of the feet. Same action here. There's more space in the lower spine to roll it down onto the mat. You can take the chin from collarbone to collarbone. All curves of the spine in contact with the earth to the best of your ability. Use the pull on the outer edges of the feet to put the entire spine in contact with the mat. Hug the knees back into the chest. More freedom in the lumbar vertebra, unrolling the sacral vertebra to the earth. Deep breathing down into the belly. Hug knees into the chest with effort. Release the knees. Constructive rest pose as you reach for your block. Slide the block underneath the sacral ridge on its lowest height. Hug the right knee into the chest. Straighten the left leg. Keep the left heel off the earth. Reach through the inner left heel. So there's a lot of slack in the neck here, a lot of relaxation in the face, even though there is a lot of effort in the legs. Sacrum on block, right knee into chest, left leg straight, reach through left inner heel. 3 downward moving breath patterns. Happy baby on the right leg, half happy baby, reach for the outer edge of the right foot. Another 3 rounds of breath. Hug the inner left heel towards the midline so you keep the adductor on line. Try not to let the sacrum tilt to one side or the other. You'll have to feel that unique push-pull in your body so the sacrum stays in contact with the block. Relax, half happy baby. Release the foot, knees come halfway into the chest. Moment to breathe down into the belly here. Lift belly button as you breathe down. Lift belly button as you breathe down. Hug left knee into chest. Now reach through the inner right heel. Straighten the right leg. Keep the right heel off earth. Powerful downward moving inhalations. On the exhale, you'll set the upper back down. Keep a lot of relaxation in the upper body, isometrically working the lower body without touching the upper body. All the resistance in the lower body. Reach through the right inner heel. Half happy baby. Reach for the outer edge of the left foot. Keep reaching through the right inner heel. Keep the right heel off earth. It's right in line with the hip joint. This might take a moment. If you need to pause and get the heel right in line with the hip joint and the sacrum flat on the block, please take a moment. Both knees halfway into chest. They just stack right over the hip girdle. You let the sacrum recalibrate. 2 downward moving inhalations into the belly. Any extra tension you gathered in the face, flutter it out the lips. Maybe move the lower jaw around. Slide the block out. Go ahead and reach for your strap. Roll back down onto the earth. Lace the strap over the ball of the right foot. Both legs are straight. You're reaching through both heels. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. In a restorative version, reach through both inner heels. On the exhalation, keep pulling the toes towards the forehead in any amount. Powerful breath here. You're only here for about 5 rounds, so it has to be very, very deliberate. Reach through both heels. Keep the tension in the calf. Keep the tension in the belly of the hamstring. Take the strap in the right hand. Drop the right leg out to the right. Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Supta Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Reclined hand to foot pose. Exhalations allow you to pull the toes towards the ear in any amount. Both legs are strong, grounded, and active, reaching through the inner heels. Really use your breath pattern to notice where is my edge and how can I deepen. Bring the leg back through center, release the strap. If you can, peace sign fingers on big toe, lift head and chest. If you need to keep the strap, please do that. Lift head and chest, knee almost in contact with nose. Exhalation powerfully pulls belly down. You can use right arm to lift head and chest, reach through inner heels. Keep the inner thighs on line, isometrically hugging them towards one another. Exhalation pulls belly down. Bottom of your exhalation, release the big toe. Lower the right leg all the way to earth. Strap's close to you, so you can take the strap over the ball of the right foot. So we're moving with some speed here. That means the breath pattern has to be fluid and deep to really get the most out of each asana architecture. Strap over the ball of the left foot, reaching the left inner heel towards the ceiling. Both legs active. On the exhalation, you can pull the toes towards the forehead in any amount. That might be micro movements. That might be some pretty large, drastic movements as the toe moves towards the forehead in any amount. Keep reaching through both heels. You'll have to re-engage that action each time. The strap comes into the left hand. Drop the left leg out to the left. Supta Utthita Hasta Padangusthasana. Reach through both heels. Just enough effort so the flexibility and the strength match each other here as you're reclined on earth. Exhalation drops the navel and reaches the heels away from one another. A gentle pull down the adductor. Keeping the upper body relaxed, face relaxed. Bring the leg back through center. Keep the strap where it is if you need to. Otherwise, release the strap and the peace sign fingers. Grab the left big toes and then you lift the head and the chest. Nose move towards the knee and you move the heels in opposite directions. Get the abdomen on line as you pull the belly button down. A lot of power here in the core, a lot of power here in the adductors. Keep the face soft and then release the toes. Constructive rest pose, inner knees touch, feet as wide as the mat. Exhale to recalibrate the breath pattern. Right, so your heart rate might have lifted there. That's totally okay. Mindfully drop the heart rate with a long exhalation. Reach for your block, slide it underneath the sacral ridge at its highest height. Outer edges of the mat, you feel them in your palms, you roll the humerus bone down. A lot of action in the upper chest here. Setting the full weight of the sacrum down. Take a moment to feel the upward moving inhalation. It's this gorgeous feeling in the cheekbones and the collarbones as they spread and become lighter. Root the humerus bone down. Next step is to interlace the fingers on the back side of the block and then lift the right leg. Dorsiflex the right foot. Reach through the inner heel. You're pushing down through the inner seam of the left foot. And then yogi toes. Engage your yogi toes. Reach through the ball mound and separate the toes. Pause video if you need to see that. That's full action and engagement of hamstring, quadricep, inner thigh, both calf muscles. Release the right leg to the earth. Lift the left leg. Dorsiflex so you can feel the full engagement of the leg. Then engage yogi toes as you reach through the ball mound and separate the toes. Root the humerus bone down. Breath pattern is so powerful right now to support the relaxation of the sacrum and the lightness of the collarbones. Keep the clasp of the hands firm so that the humerus bone can root. Push the right foot into earth to help the left foot lift. Keep the sacrum soft. Bend the knee. Place the left foot on the earth. Come back into restorative bridge pose. I've released my hands so there's more space in the chest for the inhalation to penetrate. On your next exhalation, release the block, lower down to the earth so the whole spine's in contact with the earth. Hug the knees into the chest. Take a few exhalations out the mouth. Couple breaths, couple movements here. Drop the knees out over to the right. See video, please, to protect the sciatic nerve. Going to cup the bottom of the left foot in this twist on either side. Cup the bottom of the upper foot. Exhalation sets the sternum down. Inhalation, come back through Supta Baddha Konasana. Grab opposite elbows now, so the whole spine's in contact with the earth. Let the knees drop out to the side. They really drape. Exhale, weights the knees. Barely any effort here, just allowing gravity to weight the knees. You'll take the reclined twist to the left now, and you're going to cup the bottom of the right foot. Keep the knees up, close up to the chest as you drop them out to the left. That creates a very strategic spiral staircase in the spine, right in the three curves of the upper spine, without putting too much pressure on the channel of the sciatic nerve. So just enough twist to feel the revolution without any downward moving pressure. 3 rounds of breath in reclined twist. Beautiful. Come back through center. Please see video for your first couple times doing Hatha, this Hatha portal. Reach for the outer edges of the feet. You're in Supta Baddha Konasana, head and chest lifted. On the exhalation, move the knees away from you. Flatten the sacrum. On the exhalation, move the knees away from you and flatten the sacrum. Rock up to sit. We're going to touch each of these asanas 2 to 3 times. You're in restorative Paschimottanasana. Reach the legs out in front of you. Grab the opposite elbows underneath the knee joint. Drop the chin to the chest. Really gather as much sensation as you possibly can in between the shoulder blades. It's a C-shaped curve in the spine. Drop chin to chest. C-shaped curve in the spine. You're gathering as much sensation as you can in the upper chest. Really let the slinky of the neck be felt as the chin descends to the chest. About 10 to 15 rounds of breath. A sensation might build here. Please let it do so. Don't shy away from it. Keep dropping the chin to the chest. Release the elbows. Roll back down onto the back. Hug the knees into the chest. An easy thread the needle hip opener. Right ankle over left knee. About 3 exhalations. You can see how I'm firming my chin down into the chest. So the spine gets long. Reach the right knee up and away from you in any amount. Touching the sensation in the piriformis and the gluteus medius. Awesome. Come back to Supta Baddha Konasana with the legs lifted. Grab the outer edges of the feet. Lift the head and the chest. On the exhalation, move the knees away from you. You see inhalation, you rock back onto the middle spine. Exhalation, you move the knees away from you. A lot of containment in the hip girdle and the lower core. Hug knees into chest. You can rock up to sit. Find yourself in the middle of your mat. Grab opposite elbows underneath the knee joint. Drape the legs over the shelf of the forearms. Drop the chin to the chest. 10 rounds of breath. More sensation might build in the meaty muscles, the rhomboids between the scapula. Perfect. Let them stretch. Let them lengthen. Let them elongate. Drop chin to chest. Deep breaths into the upper back. Release the elbows. Roll back down onto the earth. Take the knees with you. Take the left knee over the right ankle. You're going to thread the needle around the right leg. Grab the shin or the hamstring. This pose is about 70% effort. It's really just to prime the hip girdle to continue to deepen your cobbler's pose over time. Working with the right piriformis, the left piriformis, the left quadratus lumborum, and the gluteus medius, the upper butt cheek. Release the hip opener, hug knees into chest. Rock up to sit. Grab your timer or your smartphone. Go ahead and set the timer for 2 minutes. I like to prop myself up on a blanket. 2 minutes. Breath of fire. This time you'll reach the arms up to a 60-degree angle. Reach energetically and powerfully through the fingers and the open palms. Palms turn towards one another. 2 minutes, breath of fire, navel pumping. Relaxing jaw, relaxing neck. Right, stretch the trapezius and the tricep. You have a relaxation at the base of the neck. The navel is doing all of the work here. Feel free to play a mantra track for this 2 minutes in the sequence, allowing that rhythmic sensation of the navel to pump on the inhalation and the exhalation. Perhaps you're in silence, right? Really hearing the audible nature of breath of fire. Reach through the fingers, relax the shoulder blades. Reach through the fingers, relax the shoulder blades. Eye socket soft, tongue soft, belly pumping. When your timer dings, right, go ahead and slide off the blanket. Take the block to the sits bones. You're in your variation of Virasana. And this is a pumping of the lower spine, so the belly has to stay soft. Watch video first time you do this practice. Belly button moves back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. You're moving the lumbar vertebra back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. You can match the breath, short and rapid. If you need to take any inhalations and exhalations out the mouth, please do that. Just 2 minutes, isolating the lower spine, right? Feeling the ridge of the sacrum, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward, back, forward. You can feel the shovels of the sits bones digging down onto the block. I'm sitting on the block to protect my knee joint. It's also a little easier to keep the spine erect when the sits bones are lifted. Pumping the belly button back, forth, back, forth, back, forth. Lumbar spine back, forth, back, forth. Sacral ridge moves forward, backward, forward, backward. All the attention in the space beneath the navel and the lumbar vertebra, right? You even have to really lubricate the groins to make this action happen. A lot of hip movement, a lot of lower belly movement. 2 minutes. Hang in there. Breathe with intensity. Back, forth in the lower spine. Set the timer aside when you complete your 2 minutes. You're going to come through all fours, neutral pose. 10 powerful rounds, cat-cow. Now you get the breath back online if you lost it during that Kriya. Inhalation, drop the belly button. Exhalation, lift the shoulder blades. Better yet, exhalation, lift the space between the shoulder blades and you go back, forth, back, forth. Cat-cow. A little bit of pace, a lot of intention, a lot of pranayama. Take the right foot to the wall, lift the left arm. Long, strong, and extended. See how I'm starting to get my navel online. So you're lifting opposite leg, opposite arm, but use the wall behind you so you can feel this long line of energy from wrist to inner heel. Great extension. Come back through all fours. Couple rounds cat-cow. There should be more space for you to feel and sense in between the scaps and in your lumbar, so you have the whole spine involved in a couple rounds cat-cow. Muscular body is alert throughout this entire practice. Couple rounds cat-cow. Reach the left leg back, place the sole of the foot on the wall. Lift the right arm. Extend through both extremities. Get the lower navel online. Pull navel up, 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 up. 3 rounds of breath. Push into the wall. Reach through the fingertips. Push into the wall. Reach through the fingertips. Energy moving through the core. Belly button lifting towards lumbar. Powerful extension. Great adjustment for the whole spinal column. Hand and foot hit earth. You can take a moment in child's pose. Sit back into Balasana. Elbows hit, breathe out the mouth. Elbows hit earth, breathe out the mouth. Inhalation brings you through all fours and thread the needle. So now you're twisting the thoracic vertebra. Set the shoulder and the head down onto the earth. Right, the slang term for this is called threading the needle. About 3 to 5 breaths, right? I'm really strategically breathing into my upper back. Use your arms accordingly to breathe into your upper back. Right, Samana Vayu, wringing out, twisting, assimilation. Unthread, sit back into Balasana for a couple rounds of breath. Exhalation out the mouth. Let the pranayama dictate the ease in the body right now. Balasana, child's pose. Inhalation brings you through all fours, tabletop. Take the left arm underneath the right armpit space. Thread the needle. You're using the left arm for resistance here. Inhalation penetrates the upper back. Exhalation deepens the twist. Relax the shoulder and the head onto earth. Use the power of the arms to deepen the upper spine twist. 3 breaths. Sit back into Balasana as you unthread. Inhale through all fours, couple rounds cat-cow. Powerful rounds cat-cow. Oof, so much more space now in the upper back. Witness it for all it's worth. Freedom in the body, freedom in the mind, obedience in the body as a yogi. Couple rounds cat-cow. Come back to that extension now. You've been here once before. Left leg is in tabletop still. Right leg's lifted. Left arm lifted. Reach through the extremities and get the lower core online. Push into the right palm. Beautiful. Step the right foot forward into modified Anjaneyasana. Lift the arms in the chest. 3 rounds of breath. Any depth of back bend that feels good for your spine now. There's been a lot of action in this sequence so far, so push the back bend just a bit. Come back through Anjaneyasana. Take the twist across the body, the closed twist. Take the same sequence on the opposite side. 3 rounds of breath. Inhalation backs you away from the edge. Exhalation pulls the adductors together and deepens the twist. 3 rounds of breath, really undulating and working with your pranayama here. Awesome. Both hands hit earth as you relax the twist. Step into pigeon pose on the right leg. Keep the chest lifted. Keep the left toes curled. Pigeon pose. An active Ekapada Kapotasana. Center of sternum lifting. Keep the back toes curled. Keep the back leg active. Drop into the right hip only as much as you can keep the back leg active. Lift the center of the sternum. Thread the needle as you fold forward. That means the left arm comes underneath the right armpit space. If you can take the full forward fold, great. If you need a bolster or a block under your head, great. 3 exhalations here. Keep the back leg active though, back toes curled under. That means the femur is plugging up into the socket, the left kneecap on earth. Use the arms strategically to lift your chest. Plant the palms, come back through all fours. Couple rounds cat-cow to equalize. And connect to the exhalation. Couple rounds cat-cow to equalize and connect to the exhalation. Fluidity in the spinal column. This time you'll lift the left leg. Put the sole of the left foot on the wall. And lift the right arm. I got a little backwards. Lift the right arm. Extend through this full spinal extension as you reach the left heel into the wall and you reach through the right wrist. Get the navel on line. Pull the navel towards the lumbar. Reach, 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 reach. Step the left foot forward into modified lunge pose. Bend deeply into the left knee. Lift the arms and the chest. Modified Anjaneyasana. Explore with the back body in the space behind you. Take the back bend. That feels good. Feels full. Feels creative. Hands come through Anjali Mudra. Take the closed twist across the body. That means the right elbow to the left thigh. Work with your pranayama. Breathe the whole circumference of the diaphragm expanding. Breathe into the upper chest on the inhalation and deepen the twist on the exhalation. Legs are like cement here. Let them work for you so that the chest feels free. Let them work for you so the chest feels free. Release the twist on the exhalation. Plant the palms and then you step into pigeon pose. Keep the chest lifted through the first 5 to 6 rounds of breath. Keep the right toes curled, isometrically pulling the inner thighs towards one another so the sternum can skyrocket towards the ceiling. You notice how I'm dorsiflexing the front foot on both sides to protect the knee joint and lift the chest. Thread the needle as you forward fold. Take the right hand underneath the left armpit space. Drop the forehead, the temple skin, down to the earth and keep the right toes curled under. A lot of symmetry in the sacrum. A lot of symmetry in the sacrum. A lot of ease in the upper body as you drape the upper body, still working the legs. Exhalation backs you out of the pose, and inhalation plants the palms and lifts the chest. 1 round of breath to skyrocket the sternum. Swing the right leg around, and you've got 2 minutes of Spanda Kriya. As you're in Sukhasana, you can reset that timer for 2 minutes. 1 minute you move in one direction. Note the direction you're moving right now. 1 minute rolling into the back body. Spanda Kriya. A lot of attention in the organs. Let the upper body be soft and move with the spiraling action. 1 minute Spanda Kriya in either direction. Eyes closed. Powerful exhales as you roll towards the back edges of the sits bones. A lot of action so far in this sequence. Let this be fluid. You're fluidly moving the watery organs. Fluidly moving the watery organs. Just 1 minute in each direction. Switch the cross of the shins and move in the opposite direction now for 60 seconds. In and out through the mouth if that feels good. A lot of attention into the belly button area, into the watery nature of the organs. As you rotate and swivel, you compress different sides of the belly, you compress different sides of the organs. Get that full circumference of the sits bones, rocking to side, front, back, side. 1 minute in the opposite direction. Fluidity, creativity, power. Allowing those spheres to overlap, Spanda Kriya. Sit back into your variation of bow pose. When your timer dings, immediately sit back into your variation of bow pose. You can either bend the knees or straighten the legs. See video. I give several modifications. Fold belly button down, lift chest, reach arms, reach feet. Plant the palms, lift the sits bones so the feet and the sits bones are off earth for that breath. Come back into your variation of bow pose, Navasana. Bent knees or straight legs. Again, you have the feet and the sits bones off earth. Then you come back into your variation of Navasana. Maybe you bend the knees. See this variation. Leave ankles on earth, but just lift sits bones. Leave ankles on earth, but just lift sits bones. Come back into your variation of Navasana for 3 exhalations. Straight legs or bent knees, or both. Lift the buttocks as you plant the palms. Roll over the shins now. Step back into plank pose. 4 rounds, the upper fourth of Chaturanga. 4 rounds, the upper fourth of Chaturanga. You've done this before. Tuck navel down towards heels. Reach back through heels. Awesome. Go ahead and step the right foot between the hands. Lift the arms and the chest. Take a moment. Find the breath pattern. Feel nice and full. Powerful in the legs. Full on Janiasana. Back knee lifted. Beautiful. Drop the left hand to the earth. On the exhalation, drop both palms to the earth. On the inhalation, lift the right hand. See video. You're going to undulate through this for 5 rounds. Quick, rapid pranayama. Exhalation drops the chest. Inhalation opens the chest. Exhalation drops the chest. Inhalation opens the chest. Vyana Vayu. Quick, rapid integration. Step back plank pose. Take the fourth of the Chaturanga 4 times. Upper fourth 4 times. Make the navel feel powerful. Work the arms, work the inner thighs. Step left foot on the inhalation. Rise all the way up full on Janiasana. Keep the back knee lifted. Reach through the back heel. Lift the back knee. Inhalation moves the sternum towards the ceiling. Exhalation, both palms hit the earth. Right palm sticks to earth. Lift the left palm on the inhalation. Exhalation, drop the head in the chest. Inhalation, uncurl. Exhalation, drop the head in the chest. Inhalation, uncurl. Left palm in contact with earth, several rounds, lifting the left arm and dropping the left arm, open chest. On your rapid breath pattern. On exhalation, steps you fluidly back into Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Your first downward facing dog. 5 rounds of breath, 6 rounds of breath. Lengthen the exhalation if you feel any upregulation in the body. We're going to continue to move rapidly through balanced inhalations and exhalations. Still in downward facing dog, listening to the echo of the breath. Inhale, plank pose, full Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, roll over the toes. Lift the right leg, bend the knee and open the hip. Both armpits look at earth. Bend the knee, open the hip. Both armpits look at earth. Keep breath strong in the chest. Swing the right leg all the way through into pigeon pose, an active pigeon pose. Second time here. Lift chest, pull inner thighs together. Plant palms, step up into extended side angle. We open to the outer right hip, deep, drop deeper into the front knee, root the back foot, extended side angle. Intelligence in the arms. Grab both blocks, flank the outer foot and the inner foot. Parsvottanasana, straighten both legs, both hip points look towards the front of the mat. Straighten both legs, fold out over the right hamstring. You're going to lift the chest on the inhalation as you root down into the blocks. Drop the chest on the exhalation, 5 rounds. Both legs straight. You're not on train tracks. Both hip points look at the front of the mat. Inhale, lift chest. Exhale, drop chest. See this transition on video if needed. Take the blocks down to their lowest height. Step back into down dog with the hands on the blocks. This is going to give you more space to get back into the legs. You see me undulating like, finally I can get into my calves. Into the tightness of the calves and the hammies. Keep the hands on the blocks. Chest is lifted slightly because of the lift of the blocks. Couple rounds of breath. Inhalation brings you into chaturanga, and then up dog. Exhale, down dog, roll over the toes. Get into the sensation of the legs with the arms lifted. Inhale, plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hands on blocks. Feel down the hamstrings. Get into the sensation of the legs. More downward, backward moving energy. Step the left foot forward into pigeon pose. Slide the blocks and lift the chest. Curl the back toes. Just here, 2 breaths. Lift the chest. Now plant the palms. Step up into an extended side angle. Parsvottanasana, extended side angle. Bend deeply into the front knee at a 90-degree bend. See my drishti going up to the palm only if the neck is relaxed. Bend deeper into the front knee, reach arm and foot in opposite directions, long side body. Grab the blocks again, flank the front foot, step the back foot in, straighten the front leg. Drape torso over straight front leg. A small vinyasa here in Parsvottanasana. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, drop the chest. 5 times. Your breath pattern, not mine. Slide the blocks out to the side. Go ahead, step back, 3-legged dog. Lift the left leg, bend the knee and open the hip. Both armpits look at earth. You see me wiggling just a bit. What's going on in the spinal column? Awesome. Drop both feet, downward facing dog, equilibrium. Hop all the way through Navasana. That might take a moment. You can come through all 4s and swing the legs around. Navasana, variations of boat pose. This is your last time here. Plant the palms, lift the buttocks. Navasana, bent knees or straight legs. Lift the buttocks, lift the ankles. Hop back, downward facing dog. You can roll over your shins to do that or come through all 4s. So now we're going to find our relationship to the wall. You're going to drop down to the knees. You can walk yourself back in a short downward facing dog stance and then walk the legs up the wall. See how I'm really finding that the heel of my hand is right underneath my armpit. I'd watch video the first time you do this because the buttocks is going to move towards the ceiling. You see how I'm taking that curve out of my middle back. Buttocks moving towards the ceiling. Tailbone roots towards the ceiling. You see how I start to get that curl. I'd practice that for the first half of the month. Then I'd start to lift one leg at a time, putting the heel in line with the shoulder girdle. Switch the heels on the wall. There's a lot of force moving into the wall, and then you lift the opposite leg and you keep curling the tailbone. That's harder to do with one leg at a time. Drop down from box pose and take a really gooey, yummy child's pose. So I'm bringing my arms around near the side of the body. I like to turn my head in opposite directions so my nose doesn't hit the earth. Really gooey, yummy child's pose. If you have the head turned, go ahead and take it to the opposite side so it's an equal twist in the upper spine. Relaxation here, deep relaxation here. Take your time. Down regulating from the inversion. Down regulating from the inversion. Come through all fours on the inhalation. Give yourself a moment. And then find the extension again from tabletop. Tabletop extension. Right foot in the wall, left wrist lifts. Strong, 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 right? Feel like you're in handstand, rooting down, rooting forward. Beautiful. Switch sides. Left foot lifts, right hand lifts. Push into wall with left foot. Come back through all fours, curl toes, downward facing dog. Handstand spine and downward facing dog. One breath, one movement. Inhale, right foot steps, Anjaneyasana. Beautiful. Pivot on the back heel so you can transition into extended side angle. Relax the neck and the shoulder girdle. Extended side angle. Beautiful. Flank the front foot, step the back foot in, hang out over the front leg. You've been here before. Long, strong legs. Couple rounds of lifting and dropping the chest. Long, strong legs. Beautiful. Inhale, plank pose. Chaturanga on the exhale. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. A complete strong vinyasa. Equilibrium, downward facing dog. Inhalation, left foot steps between hands. Anjaneyasana, back knee lifts, lift arms and chest. One breath, one movement. Oh, lift chest, beautiful. Pivot on the back heel, back foot spins down. Extended side angle, now the hips are opening to the side of the mat. Relax the tissue at the base of the neck, strong through the outer seam of the body. Rotate on the heels and the back foot, step the back foot forward, straighten both legs, hang out over the front leg. Parsvottanasana, pyramid pose is the slang name. Inhalation lifts the chest, exhalation drops the chest. Power down through the feet, power from the inner thighs moving towards one another. Freedom in the heart, freedom in the breath pattern, freedom in the spine. In any manner, come to sit at the base of the wall. Take a measurement, take the hands out to the ankles. Walk the feet up the wall into box pose. Find the tailbone moving towards the ceiling. Find the tailbone moving towards the ceiling. Lifting opposite legs. This is your handstand play, your long-term handstand play. Or your working box pose, which is very challenging to get the hips right over the shoulder girdle, the hips right over the back of the head. It's a little bit scary. I'd pause video and play here. You're super warm. Now's the time. Get the hips right over the shoulder girdle. Walk the feet down the wall to the earth. Right out of the inversion, you're going to come into your variation of legs up the wall. So you do that with as little drama as possible. Peace sign fingers, grab the right big toe, keep the left leg up the wall. Lift the head and the chest, powerful breathing. You see how my sacrum's off the earth. Try to roll the sacrum down. This is a massive hamstring opener. Careful with the hamstring attachments around the buttocks. Keep a micro bend in the knee. Awesome. Relax the legs and put the sacrum down on earth now. We did this last month. You're in half shoulder stand here. Grab outer edges of the mat. That's perfect. Grab outer edges of the mat. Bend the knees. Firm the feet into the wall. You're in half shoulder stand. You can keep the knees bent and keep the feet into the wall, or you can play with lifting opposite legs. Humerus bone rolls down. Next step is to take the hands right beneath the shoulder blades, kind of in the flesh of the lower back. Lift the chin from chest. So we're working towards shoulder stand. These are all restorative shoulder stand variations. Grab outer edges of the mat, roll back down to earth. Immediately, peace sign fingers, grab a right big toe, lift the head and the chest. Yes, the sacrum might lift. That is totally okay. Try to roll the sacrum with the force of the navel down towards the earth. Just 3 exhalations. If you need to use the strap here, you can also do that. Anytime I grab peace sign fingers, you can always use the strap. But you are lifting the head and the chest and rolling the sacrum down. On your exhalation, you release. Come right into Malasana. Watch carefully. I've got my feet at a 45-degree angle. It's as if I'm in squat pose at the top of the mat. This is the Apan to get you into Shavasana. Ground, 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 ground. Belly button pulls down on the exhalation. A lot of power in the feet. A lot of power in the inner heel to protect the inner knee. As if you could push the wall away from you. Push the wall away from you. Malasana. Push the wall away from you. Happy baby. Roll the sacrum down just as we began class. Exhale out mouth. Exhale out mouth. Roll sacrum down. Slowing down. Chin to chest. Back to Malasana. Fire up the exhalation here as if you could push the wall away from you. Sticky mat will keep you right where you are. But feel that much power pushing the wall away from you. Exhalation draws navel down. Face soft, chest soft, arms soft. Body's tired. Let that relaxation support the calm nature of the mind. Your last happy baby. Grab for outer edges of the feet. Can always use a strap here if that works for you. Slowing down. Breath pattern slowing down. Take cobbler's pose on the wall, just so we can touch that structure we did at the very beginning of class. Soles of feet together, knees out wide. Push the knees away from you in any amount. Push the knees away from you in any amount on the exhalation. Belly button soft and emptying. You're down ratcheting the pranayama. You're letting the mind drop towards the back of the skull, even though there's action in the legs. Beautiful. Now move the legs straight towards straight, legs up the wall. Hands on lower belly. 10-minute Shavasana. Legs up wall.